hey, managing a strata or maybe a multi-unit building, it comes with its own unique set of challenges, doesn't it?
It really does.
And often the things that can cause the biggest headaches are, the ones we don't really think about until it's maybe too late. Take those decks, for instance. They might look perfectly fine on the surface, but what hidden issues could be brewing underneath? Things that could lead to some, frankly, seriously expensive surprises.
That's a very sharp point. It is easy to overlook structural elements like decks until, a problem becomes really obvious. But in multi-unit properties, the cumulative effect of just time and use, it can accelerate hidden deterioration.
Exactly. And that's precisely where we're focusing our attention today. We're going to dig into the critical importance of regular deck structural maintenance checks, specifically for strata and multi-unit buildings.
Okay.
Our insights for this deep dive, they come from an article by the team at RainCity Decks who really specialize in this area.
Good source. Given their focus, RainCity Decks definitely offers a valuable perspective on the proactive steps needed, to ensure the long-term health and safety of these deck systems.
Absolutely. By the time we're done here, you'll have a much clearer understanding of why these checks are so vital. Not just a good idea, but really a cornerstone of responsible property management.
Right.
We're talking about resident safety, smart financial planning, and safeguarding your property's value. Consider this your direct line to understanding proactive deck repair without needing to sort through all the technical details yourself.
A shortcut, basically.
Exactly. Our mission today is straightforward. Just extract the most essential knowledge from this RainCity Decks article and present it in a way that's clear and hopefully immediately useful for you.
Okay, sounds good. So let's get to the heart of the matter then. What are the specific deck maintenance challenges that are maybe amplified in strata and multi-unit buildings compared to, say, a single-family home?
Well, think about the sheer volume of exposure and use, right? In these types of properties, you've got multiple units. That means more frequent foot traffic.
Yeah.
And these decks are constantly battling the elements rain, snow, intense sun, the lot. This constant barrage, day in and day out, it can lead to wear and tear that isn't always visible at first glance.
That's right. And the shared nature, the higher usage, it often means that minor issues can escalate more quickly. For instance, a small crack allowing water ingress might be noticed and fixed sooner by a single homeowner.
Sure.
But in a larger building, it could go undetected for longer, leading to much more extensive damage. And moisture. Well, moisture is just a persistent threat, isn't it? Seeping into the deck assembly, causing rot and decay that can stay hidden until it's quite advanced.
And that brings us right to the core solution here. Proactive deck structural maintenance checks. It might sound like basic common sense, but it's truly the most effective way to catch these potential problems early, in their infancy, really.
And what's particularly valuable about a proactive approach is its preventative nature. Instead of just reacting to obvious signs of failure, a loose railing, a spongy bit of decking, the goal is to spot the subtle indicators of underlying issues before they become major problems.
Right. So let's get specific then. What exactly does a RainCity Decks structural maintenance check typically involve? What are the key things they're actually looking at?
Well, the article outlines a comprehensive visual inspection as a primary component. And this goes beyond just, looking at the surface boards.
Okay.
It includes a thorough examination of the entire structural framework and the railings too. They're trained to spot those early signs of water damage, the presence of fungal growth like rot or mold, and any indications of structural weakness.
Okay, so it's a much more detailed look than just a quick walk around then.
Precisely. And beyond that visual assessment, they also emphasize the critical role of, get this, annual caulking of seams and joints.
Annual caulking. Seems small.
It might seem like a minor detail, but it's a vital barrier against water penetration. It stops moisture getting into the deck assembly and causing potentially significant long-term damage. They also conduct a review to make sure the decks comply with current local safety regulations.
Ah, okay. So it's not just about the physical state of the deck itself, but also making sure everything meets the required safety standards.
Exactly. And a crucial outcome of these checks is the prioritized list of recommended repairs and maintenance. This gives property managers a clear understanding of what needs attention and, importantly, in what order of urgency. It really helps with planning and budgeting.
Right, that prioritization must be key. Now, let's flip that coin. What are the potential negative consequences of neglecting these maintenance checks? What risks are involved if you don't stay on top of this?
Oh, the risks are substantial. The most immediate concern is, of course, the safety of the residents. Structural deterioration over time, it can compromise the deck's integrity, potentially leading to dangerous situations like, well, collapses or other structural failures.
Which you definitely don't want.
No. And this inevitably leads to emergency repairs, which, as we all know, are almost always significantly more expensive and disruptive than planned maintenance.
And let's not forget the liability side for property managers and strata councils. Failing to maintain safe conditions can open a real can of worms legally.
Absolutely. Liability is a major, major consideration. Furthermore, the article highlights that poorly maintained decks really detract from the overall curb appeal of the property. This can negatively impact resident satisfaction and potentially affect the building's attractiveness to prospective buyers or renters down the line.
So it's kind of a ripple effect of negative outcomes.
Yeah.
Okay, on the other hand, what are some of the less obvious, maybe, but significant benefits of actually investing in regular maintenance checks?
Well, beyond the fundamental aspect of safety, which is paramount, there are considerable long-term advantages. As we mentioned, proactively addressing minor water damage, rot, or mold before these issues spread, it can lead to substantial cost savings down the line.
How substantial are we talking?
Well, we often see situations where addressing early signs of water intrusion, maybe with targeted repairs costing, say, a few $100s, prevents thousands of dollars in structural repairs just a year or two later.
Wow, that really puts the potential cost savings into perspective.
It does. Additionally, these regular checks ensure continuous adherence to local safety regulations, which is essential for avoiding potential fines and, legal complications. And the prioritized repair timelines provided by professional inspections also enable much more predictable and effective budget planning for strata councils, moving away from that reactive emergency spending.
That predictability must be a huge relief for budget management, I can imagine.
It absolutely is. And while resident safety and liability reduction are obviously paramount, we shouldn't overlook the long-term benefits of extending the lifespan of the decks and actively maintaining or even enhancing the building's overall aesthetic appeal.
Okay, so it really is a comprehensive strategy. It benefits safety, finances, and the overall look and feel of the property. Now, the article makes it clear that a thorough inspection is more than just a quick glance. What are the hallmarks of a truly comprehensive deck inspection? What makes it good?
Right. A high-quality inspection involves several key elements. It starts with accurately identifying which specific units might have existing issues. But beyond that, it includes actionable recommendations for preventative maintenance measures, things that can help minimize future problems.
Proactive stuff.
Exactly. The prioritized repair lists are crucial for tackling the most urgent concerns first. And services like that annual caulking we talked about are often integrated into a comprehensive maintenance plan.
So it's about identifying current problems, putting measures in place to prevent future ones, and providing a clear prioritized action plan. That makes sense.
Precisely. And the article also touches on how targeted renovations can be a smart way to extend deck life and potentially avoid the much larger expense of a full replacement. Can you elaborate on some of those strategic repair approaches?
Absolutely. RainCity Decks points to several key renovation strategies. A major one is updating the waterproofing system. Over time, the membranes and coatings designed to keep water out, they can degrade. They start cracking, peeling.
Right, that wear and tear.
Yeah. So by investing in new, high-quality waterproofing coatings and sealants, you create a much more robust barrier against moisture. And it's worth noting there are various types of these systems available, each with its own benefits depending on the specific deck structure and how much weather it gets.
That's a critical point. Water intrusion is so often the primary driver of structural deck damage. It's the big enemy.
Totally. Another effective approach is selectively replacing worn or warped decking boards, particularly in high traffic areas.
Okay.
Using new composite or maybe treated lumber not only improves the deck's durability and safety, but also significantly enhances its visual appeal. It's a relatively cost-effective way to boost that curb appeal we mentioned.
Yeah, makes a big difference visually. And what about the condition of railings and fasteners? That's also paramount, I imagine.
Definitely. Upgrading these components is essential for both safety and aesthetics. Loose or corroded railings, well, they pose a clear safety hazard, especially in buildings with lots of residents, maybe kids. Replacing them with new code-compliant hardware ensures stability and gives the decks a more finished and modern look.
So these focused renovations can be a very economical way to significantly improve the safety and longevity of the decks without the full cost and disruption of complete replacement.
Exactly. Smart repairs.
Right. Now let's maybe revisit some of those core benefits, the article really emphasizes several key advantages of these structural maintenance checks that I think deserve another look.
Absolutely agree. The first one, early problem detection, it's huge. Identifying those seemingly minor issues, like that hidden water damage we talked about, or maybe just a slightly loose railing before they morph into major, costly structural failures, is just a tremendous advantage.
It really is about catching those small drips before they have the chance to become a flood of much larger, much more expensive problems. That's a good way to put it.
The second significant benefit is the ability for strata councils to engage in more effective budget planning. Having that prioritized list of necessary repairs allows for better long-term financial forecasting, and it helps avoid those unexpected, disruptive emergency repair bills that wreck the budget.
That predictability in budgeting, it's just incredibly valuable for the financial stability of the strata. Less stress.
Totally. Then there's the crucial aspect of legal and insurance compliance. By proactively adhering to safety regulations and maintaining thorough inspection records, you're not only mitigating potential liability,
Which is huge.
but also potentially positioning yourselves favorably with insurance providers. Well-documented maintenance sometimes, it can even lead to reduced premiums.
Yeah, that kind of documentation can be invaluable, especially if there's an insurance claim or during policy renewals, proof you're doing your due diligence.
And finally, we have the increased property value and enhanced curb appeal. Well-maintained decks, they just contribute to a positive visual impression. They improve the overall quality of life for residents and make the property more attractive to potential buyers or renters. It's an investment in the building's long-term value and desirability.
So it's pretty evident that a comprehensive inspection provides significant value. But what distinguishes a truly high-quality inspection from maybe a more basic one? What should people look for?
Good question. The article provides some clear distinctions. A top-tier inspection includes a thorough structural review. This means all the critical underlying components, joists, beams, fasteners, support systems are meticulously examined, checked for signs of wear, rot, corrosion. It goes far beyond just assessing the visible surfaces.
That deep dive into the actual structural elements is essential for uncovering those hidden weaknesses that could compromise the entire deck system down the road.
Then there are the detailed moisture and waterproofing assessments. As we've discussed, water is a major threat. So a quality inspection will carefully evaluate all seals, membranes, and drainage pathways to ensure they're functioning correctly. Often, seemingly minor issues with drainage can lead to significant hidden damage over time if not caught.
Ensuring proper drainage is often an overlooked aspect, isn't it?
Right.
But it's absolutely critical for preventing water buildup and the resulting deterioration. Pooling water is bad news.
Very bad news. Safety and code compliance are also non-negotiable. A high-quality inspection will verify that railings, stairs, and all construction materials meet the current local safety regulations and building codes.
This is fundamental, really, for ensuring resident safety and providing legal protection for the Strata Council and owners.
And lastly, a truly valuable inspection will provide clear and actionable recommendations. This includes specific guidance on what needs to be repaired, when those repairs should ideally be completed, and the level of urgency for each issue. It enables informed, strategic planning.
Right. Vague or general recommendations aren't particularly helpful, are they? What's needed is a clear, prioritized roadmap for addressing any identified issues, step by step.
Exactly. Now, following one of these thorough inspections, what kind of report should a strata council or property manager expect to receive, and how can that report be used most effectively?
Okay, the RainCity Decks article emphasizes that their report is designed to be a comprehensive and practical tool. It includes a detailed inventory of every unit that was inspected,
Okay.
accompanied by photographic documentation of any damage or areas of concern.
Visual evidence. That's always helpful for understanding the issues, isn't it? Seeing is believing.
Absolutely. The report also contains that crucial prioritized list of recommended repairs, along with specific notes on any safety hazards or code compliance concerns that were identified during the inspection. Importantly, it also offers preventative maintenance tips, things owners and managers can implement themselves to help extend the lifespan of their decks.
So it's not just about fixing current problems, but also about taking steps to prevent future ones, giving you some homework.
Exactly. And these reports serve several key functions. They empower strata councils and property managers to plan proactively for maintenance, to avoid those costly emergency repairs, and ensure ongoing compliance with local regulations. Plus, these reports create a valuable historical record of the property's maintenance. That can be really beneficial for insurance purposes and also for providing transparency to potential buyers down the line.
Yeah, having that documented history really does offer peace of mind and a clear understanding of the property's condition over time. So to bring everything together, what are the absolute essential elements of ongoing deck maintenance that strata and multi-unit buildings need to keep top of mind?
The article provides a pretty concise summary. Essential deck maintenance includes regular, ideally annual, structural inspections conducted by qualified professionals, like RainCity. Consistent recaulking of seams and joints is vital for preventing water intrusion. Promptly addressing and replacing any worn or rotted decking boards helps maintain both structural integrity and that visual appeal. Ensuring all railings and fasteners remain secure is paramount for safety. Obvious but critical. And finally, routine cleaning to prevent the accumulation of mold, mildew, and other decay-causing materials. That's an ongoing necessity. Keep them clean.
So it's really a continuous cycle, isn't it? Professional assessment, targeted repairs when needed, and consistent preventative care.
Precisely. A proactive approach to maintenance is definitely the key to ensuring the safety, the aesthetic quality, and the long-term durability of these really important building features.
Okay, let's bring it all home for you listening in. The core message here, I think, is crystal clear. For strata and multi-unit buildings, taking a proactive approach to deck care through regular structural maintenance checks isn't just, a good idea. It's really a fundamental requirement for ensuring the safety and well-being of your residents, for effectively managing your budget, and ultimately for safeguarding the long-term value of your property.
Yeah, by understanding the potential hidden risks and just embracing a proactive maintenance strategy, you can avoid significant problems down the road and ensure the longevity of these important building assets. It's smart management.
So as you reflect on what we've discussed today, maybe take a moment to consider the decks in your own property. What potential hidden issues might be lurking there, maybe under the surface? Taking proactive steps now could genuinely save you from significant headaches and considerable expense in the future.
Definitely worth thinking about.
And perhaps most importantly, it offers that invaluable peace of mind. Just knowing your decks are safe and well-maintained for everyone who uses them. What unexpected costs or safety issues might you be currently overlooking? Something to mull